Right? Oh, right. You can actually see GM stuff. Shh. No, it's fine. But everything's coming through clear. You can hear me there, etc. No? Damn it. Oh. Now you can hear me? Fantastic. Yeah, just drop it in there. Anywhere in that box will do. Same for the rest of you. Yes. Ask no questions and I will tell no lies. And then I'll lie to you, more than likely. No. Right, so is there anything we need to go over in the minute or so before I start this proper? I'll leave that up to you guys, ultimately. I've got a nice little intro thing, but it can wait until you guys are ready. And has everyone dragged their tokens in? Alright, do you know how to? Okay. Or you can just drag it from your desktop. Yep, literally any image. With a few exceptions if it's too large, etc. Yes. Works for me. Yes, that would be a good idea. Nope, I've got all three of your sheets. No, if you want to resend it, that's fine. Right. Is everyone ready to roll then? Alright, so I'm going to start us off by walking the stream, such as it is, through what the Liberal Crime Squad RPG is, and then I'm going to check you guys the background narrative that is taking us into the current day in-game. Sound good? Alright, so, for those who are viewing and aren't familiar with this game, this is the Liberal Crime Squad role-playing game, which is, as the name suggests, a role-playing game set in a dystopian modern world of conservative-controlled America. The players control individual characters, known as player characters or PCs, who are members of a revolutionary group known as the Liberal Crime Squad, the LCS. The objective of the LCS? The total obliteration of all conservative forces and the promotion of the liberal agenda. This game was inspired by the Bay 12 open source game Liberal Crime Squad, but Liberal Crime Squad as a computer game is a single-player PC political organization simulator with RPG elements, whereas this is a multiplayer tabletop RPG focusing on the individual characters. Also, this game operates with the oversight of a game master, me, the person responsible for crafting the story, guiding the characters through the story, and controlling the non-player characters the PCs encounter. It's also my job to act as a referee and judge for all decisions and disputes made within the game. Liberal Crime Squad, on the other hand, has an automated GM. The designer's intent in making this RPG was that by having an active game master who is not automated and can make decisions on the fly, we would get a unique playing experience. But both games are intended in their design to be lighthearted, satirical, and fun. Therefore, for folk viewing, and for us as the players and GM, please remember to keep an open mind. The Liberal Crime Squad RPG is designed to ridicule the entire political process, not just in the United States, but in any republic where political parties act with such buffoonery. If you cannot put your personal beliefs aside while playing or viewing this, then you will not have fun with the game. And what's the purpose of playing if you don't have fun? Sound good? Alright, so then, on to our history. The 2020 election was the most controversial in American history. Record numbers of voters came out to the polls to choose between Lilly Killy Mills, a middle-of-the-road Democrat with alleged ties to foreign governments, and Nicholas Carson, an aging actor with far-right political leanings and no political experience. Media highlights pigeonholed the discussion early, reducing the conversation to sarcastic comments and mudslinging. Carson, the American way, the slogan went. The leaked sex tape of Lilly Mills and the honorable leader of China didn't help matters. Carson's term was, predictably, one of supplication and timidness. The once-charismatic actor's squeaky-clean record and no-nonsense attitude collapsed under the weight of savvier, more corrupt foes. So it was that over the course of his 4-year term, Carson bowed to internal pressure. Corporations lobbied to be treated as voters, then used that power to fight for less regulation on child labor, wages, and corporate taxes. The sleeping giant of democracy stirred, booting Carson out of office at the end of his first term. Unfortunately, the fitful stirring of the giant was merely that, murmurs and mumbles brought on by the horrors too great to be taken as real. Thanks to that disbelief, the 2024 election was a joke. Comcast CEO Jeffrey Krummel dominated the field. He had the political acumen, tenacity, and charisma to sway the American public. Change was promised, and change came. 37 days after being sworn in, Krummel bulldozed his way through the political system alongside cronies, flunkies, aides, and fellow conspirators. Innocuous members of the legal branches put into place during Carson's administration revealed themselves for what they were. The beginnings of the arch-conservative nightmare. The sweeping changes came faster than the public could react. Bills repealed, limitations on nuclear proliferation abandoned, the total foregoing of unions and publicly funded schooling, greater funding for police officers and incentives for racial profiling, lighter sentences for police brutality, where they existed at all. Cromwell demonstrated an utter contempt for those he was meant to govern. On January 20th, 2027, Cromwell took a run at the impossible, repealing the United States Constitution on national television. One voice stood against the gathered members of the American government. One individual intelligent enough to see the danger, and with enough heart to take a stand against the real, palatable evil before him. This individual stormed the conference and put a stop to the horrendous crime against human rights. His zeal and empathetic speech roused the sleeping giant once more, opened its eyes to the horrors that happened under their watch. On January 20th, 2027, the Liberal Crime Squad was born. Make sense? Oh, hey Graham, thank you for hosting. Yes. Alright. Yeah, so let's go and talk about who these newest members of the Liberal Crime Squad are. Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. I just was told that no one can hear you. Let me fix that real quick. Audio input. Let's see if I know how to do this. There we go.
Yeah, I think you're the most intelligent of us.
Oh, people in the stream can hear people talking then?
I would hope so.
You did a good job.
Alright! Alright, please start again, Rick.
Oh, okay then. Let's start from the top. Rick Sling is a well-to-do man, I suppose you could say, dressed up nicely, or as nice as the man can be. In a cheap suit. It's a bit patchworked a little couple of places. He's got the mindset of, you know, liberal might be all about activism, but there's no reason why you shouldn't look good while you're doing it. As he's fixing his hair in a car mirror that's broken down, I imagine, in some alleyway. Rick is a very charismatic man. A man that knows the right words to say. A man that gets his way often with people. But, like all liberals, he is a very huge heart for the cause.
Alright.
I think I'll push it off to someone else.
Yeah, go ahead, Siv.
Well, I am Victor Galt, who also has a, somewhat nice suit, a nice line duster to conceal his whatever liberal equipment he may carry, and he also has a pretty big heart as a liberal and some wisdom, and quite healthy.
Some might say too wise for the liberal.
Not yet. We will see.
And Josh?
Josh Thompson. He likes to label himself as X-Fire. He wears a windbreaker. He's been living on the streets for a while. The majority of the time he's been spending has been pickpocketing and roughhousing with I gotta turn that down. Roughhousing with the local gangs around town to ruffle them up, if possible. Sorry, my brain's a bit whacked at the moment. I apologize for that.
That's all right. That's all right.
Doesn't really have much of a past, and he's not necessarily good at anything but his skill, his craft, pickpocketing, sneaking, and stealing. And he has a good brain on his shoulders.
All right. Is that all everyone wanted to say about their characters?
Yeah.
Right. Then we'll go ahead and open with our three liberal would-be members of the Liberal Crime Squad, moving from a position of being well-meaning citizens and sleeper agents to joining the Liberal Crime Squad proper. To prove their loyalty, having spoken with a member of the Liberal Crime Squad, they've been told a task which they must do. That task, assigned to each of them individually, though they know they will be working with other would-be members, is to infiltrate a local sweatshop and set free all of the workers there found, and photograph the dismal conditions in which they live. Turning these photos over to the member of the Liberal Crime Squad which contacted them will serve as proof of their dedication to the cause. However, if violence erupts and they are harmed, our would-be members of the Liberal Crime Squad will be abandoned.
Rick asks, what way abandon? And support, or?
Support. We won't acknowledge that you ever existed at all. You'll be an unfortunate casualty. What was that?
He asks, will you still take the pictures?
If you get them back to us, yes.
He nods his head. Good enough.
Civ is still AFK, but I believe that leaves us with Jonathan if he has anything he wants to say about the whole affair.
Sorry, it's Josh. No.
Oh, sorry.
Not really. He remained silent.
All right. So,
That was Rick cuffing his, what are they called? Cuffs, I guess.
the cufflinks?
Yeah, cufflinks. There you go. Cuffing it and messing with it and trying to get his hand. Anything else that might help? Any ideas of how the best, I suppose, disguise?
This task is yours.
No support. Understood. He nods his head and then stares off at the other members if they're around him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. So I didn't think this was a single meeting or together meeting.
He did say that we were getting this job.
Okay. Together.
Individually, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Individually.
Otherwise, we just await Civ's return.
You know,
Oh, that works. That's fair.
as I look at my assorted skills of persuasion. I do have 2. Do have 2.
I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes if my food ever actually gets here. It's been an hour at this point. To pick up my food, so.
Alright. What'd you order?
Yeah, no problem.
I ordered 3 Palanzas from a pizza place in town.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Me just coming with this liberal sandwich and chips.
Well, while we wait, you are certainly welcome to explore the situation, take a visit to the place, take care of any expenditures and so forth that you need to do ahead of time. You know, how is he preparing for his role in all of this?
Rick actually will sadly go to his home and take off the cheap suit that he has on.
All right.
And then puts on some street clothes, and then he'll start littering around, you know, talking to a couple of people, get the lay of, you know, around how the people are and
Sure.
what sorts of people enter in and out of the place.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Sure I can.
All right. In an arch-conservative world, there are certainly questions raised and odd looks given to someone just hanging around, but Rick's a smooth talker. Hey, it's fine. I'm just here to hang out, talk, you know, bum a cigarette, that sort of thing. And he blends right in with the people outside the facility.
Saying the words that most people expect and, you know, playing up of whatever they assume. He doesn't put forth their perceptions. He just allows them to come up with excuse for him.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, he is free to chat and schmooze. Is there anything in particular he's looking to accomplish beyond that?
What kind of clothing are people entering and exiting the place? What kind of, like, trying to get an idea of what kind of disguise would be the best?
For the most part, people don't enter or leave the building. Occasionally a guard does his walks around the outside and then heads in, and he's in, you know, official state uniform. But otherwise, workers aren't walking in and out. It's an arch-conservative sweatshop. Long hours, no vacations, that sort of thing.
Okay. And then besides that, he let's see. As I'm thinking about, I don't know if the other group members would have questions, because now would be the best time for me to ask them.
That's fair.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Well, I would. Yeah. How long do you guys want to stay around? What's it called? Casing the place. Well, sorry, Civil isn't here. Never mind that.
Yeah. Rick is gonna ask what kind of entrances or how many entrances there are, and you know how often that security guard, is he a lazy or is he a dutiful worker?
Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead and roll me.
He just wants to keep an eye out.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me street sense.
That's a +2 for me. Oh.
That is an arch-conservative failure, if I recall correctly.
Yes, it is.
While I go double check that, Civ, to catch you up, each of you was approached individually by a member of the Liberal Crime Squad and basically told, if you want to do something, if you want to change the world, here's a job for you. If you do this, we'll know that you're serious about your commitment and bring you into the fold. That job is to infiltrate a sweatshop, rescue the people, and take photographs of the abysmal conditions and turn those over to your contact. Assuming all goes smoothly, you'll be working with other individuals, and you'll bring the photographs. Rick was casing the facility and has found himself on the wrong end of trying to surreptitiously observe the guards.
Did any of us bring a camera to take said pictures?
That has
That's a fair point.
Yeah. So, Rick, in your attempts to observe the security, one of them takes notice and approaches you with a stern look on his face and a hand on the 44 at his hip. I'll go ahead and drag him over.
Rick says, hangs his hands up. Look, officer. Look, I'm just asking a couple of harmless questions. If they're not needed, I'll walk away. He tries to back away.
He scowls, the hand unbuckling the holster so that he can draw the gun quickly if he needs to, and says, asking questions is what gets people in trouble, boy.
Fair enough. Okay. No more questions. Yeah, I'm trying to just talk him down.
Yeah.
Just basically saying, no need to do anything. No, you don't want to create more work for yourself. It's more work. I just walk away. You have a peaceful evening.
All right, go ahead and roll me persuasion.
23.
Yeah, all right. The officer considers for a moment, looks over his shoulder. I get paid the same no matter how many people I bring in on petty crime. He buckles the 44 back in place. Mind your business, boy. And he walks back inside the facility.
Yeah. Rick will walk away and then turn the corner a couple of times before he shakes his head and barrettes himself.
All right. So, Severus, what is... I'm still learning names. I'm sorry. What is Victor up to?
I guess while he was casing the place, I would... What can I... do a quick drive around to the area then?
Sure, in your 84 bug, right?
74 bug.
74 bug. All right. Go ahead and roll me...
Driving?
No. Roll me street sense.
Okay.
All right. So, Victor's driving around in a car. That's not odd in and of itself, though this neighborhood is certainly not accustomed to people casually going about in rather valuable cars. But, you know, businessman, he's clearly made a life for himself in the arch-conservative future that we live in. All right, he's flaunting his wealth. No one turns a second glance towards you.
I guess.
While this is
go
going
ahead.
on. Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna say something, or should I go?
No, I said go ahead.
Oh, okay. While this is happening, Rick is gonna go buy a mask.
All right.
Nothing specific, just a mask, right? Standard mask.
All right. If it's got a price in the
$15.
book,
Yeah.
go ahead and cover it.
Mm-hmm. I will.
All right.
In fact, I'll buy 3 masks, one for each one.
All right.
I was also gonna pick up a knife.
All right. Joshua's picking up a knife. He's more than welcome to.
And then
Guess we're all going shopping.
while you're doing your drive around, I'm buying this. I'm buying some materials.
All right. So, are you looking to accomplish anything with your driving, Soph?
Basically, more looking around the place and area.
All right. Anything in particular you're looking for, or just scoping the place out generally?
Scoping it out generally, maybe a way out in case things go bad.
All right. Go ahead and roll me. Yeah, roll me street sense again.
Yeah, that would make.
Mhm.
I need my perception.
All right. So, driving around the block, maybe head down the street for a few minutes, grab a burger, come back, attempting to be subtle. But when you make your way around one of the corners, there's a vehicle waiting for you. The High Visibility Arch Conservative Transportation System, also known as an HVAC. As you come around the corner, the officer inside flips his lights on. Wee-you.
Huh. Well, I guess.
You gonna pull over?
Yep, pull over.
All right. You pull over, and the vehicle comes to a stop with two officers making their way out. One of them stands at a distance, the other approaches the window and gives a tap on it.
Roll it down.
All right. He sighs, "Buddy, you lost?
A bit.
Where are you trying to go? Get out of our hair."
Let's see. I will. Guess I'll name off a nearby place.
All right. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Nope.
Nope. In his
Little one,
panic,
though.
Victor names something on the entire other side of town. The officer's brow scrunches. "Get out of the car."
Okay.
All right.
Out.
So, Victor, you climb out of the car. The other officer approaches, pulling his handcuffs from his belt. If, at this point, you would like to avoid combat, there are a few things we can talk about doing. Otherwise, it's time for initiative.
All of a sudden, Rick encounters Josh buying a knife, and he's like, "Oh, hey."
Oh, how's it going?
So what were the other things besides combat?
For example, allowing yourself to be arrested.
No.
Bribing? Bribes are probably not looked down upon.
It's true.
Okay, I guess I'll try that then.
All right. What do you say?
How about we make this whole forget this ever happened, and I give you a I don't know a good amount.
100 each? 50 each? 100?
Yeah, let's go 100 each.
All right. Go ahead and roll me persuasion with a +5 modifier. The officers consider it for a moment. And then that light goes on in their head where they realize he wouldn't be bribing us unless there was really a problem here. And guns are drawn.
That worked well with Chuck.
All right.
Great.
So at this point, I will instruct you to turn to the combat section of the rulebook.
Are you still? You're still technically in the car. Oh no. You
No,
got
he
out.
stepped out
Yeah.
and is on his own.
But the door's
Yeah.
still open.
The store is still open. Just drive away.
You guys would try to flee from the police?
All right, so Victor, you have the highest agility of all relevant combatants. So, per the text on page... Are they numbered? I was pretty sure they were. At the combat section, if you control F combat mechanics, you'll find it.
Yeah.
You have several options available to you. You could attack them, you could attempt to run away, and so on. You could try to climb back in the car and drive away that way as well.
I mean, they have guns. I don't think I'd be able to do anything. I have nothing. So let's try to get back in the vehicle.
All right, try to climb back in the vehicle and presumably drive away.
Yep.
All right. So, rather than the agility test that is normally required for evading combat, you may roll driving. Exactly, Grim.
Not bad.
All right. And you slip away as they attempt to pursue. They run after the car as it starts rolling down the road, and then you get 10, 15 miles an hour and take off. There's some scrambling as they head back to the car, but realistically, you're gone before they can get in and get moving.
So the fact they didn't note down your license plate.
Well then.
As
Do that again.
Rick encounters Josh, he'll hand him a mask.
What the hell is this for?
He says, "I don't know. Do you want to be caught in your face all over the news? Didn't think so."
Just starts grumbling.
And then he just nods to himself. That's what I thought. And says, "Now where the hell did the other guy go?"
Sirens in the distance.
He doesn't even think about the sirens. He doesn't even he just thinks he's not dumb enough to track the police. It'll change soon. Yeah. As Rick, I assume we all have the basic amenities like phones and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
You live in an arch-conservative society, so big data is a thing, but you are people. There are just certain things that are required in the modern day.
Yeah. No, I understand. Well, he'll flip up his phone, one of those old flip phones, actually. It's an actual flip phone.
The best
And
kind.
yes. He'll actually send off a message to Victor, or as he has in his phone, Vic. Where the hell are you at?
There were
Flip it
complications.
close.
Yep.
Waiting for a message.
Yep, send.
Oh, okay. As soon as he gets it, is he putting it away in his pocket, and it buzzes, and he's like, flips it back open, and it says, he's like, police? And question mark?
Yes. Send.
And he'll say, did you get aroused suspicion? Actually, he'll erase and put aroused suspicion, and then the question mark, and send again.
With all this texting and driving, I'll make sure I'm not still being followed by the cops. Quickly pull over.
This is unsafe!
Fine.
I know.
Liberal way.
Anyway, they saw me, pulled me over, decided they didn't believe me, tried to bribe them, had to make a getaway.
He's like, Rick is confused. It's like, bribe didn't work. That always works.
I know, right?
And he just look over to Josh and says, "We're gonna have to do this." He just
Do what?
sighs.
And I don't know if you guys have been reverberating what.
But Rick will just say, "Vic has decided to go arouse suspicion around the sweatshop."
we might be able to use that as decoy.
He smiles and he says, "Great idea." And he'll end up calling Vic because he's sick of texting, and he says, "You are going to be our distraction."
Got it.
Good. They know your face. They know your vehicle.
I'll
gonna
turn
be your
around, drive back, drive right by.
Give us an hour or two.
No intent on
Eddie.
being subtle, Siv?
Nope, I'll even honk the horn.
No, but Rick even says specifically, "Give us an hour or two before you do that."
All right.
Then he says, "Talk to Josh. Anything else to add?"
With a bit of a snicker here. Don't get caught.
You hear that?
Yep.
Good. Since you've already been seen, you don't need a mask. And then flips it closed.
Right. Well, as Victor is pursued by the HVAC vehicle, blaring the instrumentals to the national anthem around the block. What are you two doing?
Rick will ask to hitch a ride with Josh.
Okay.
Good thing we had two vehicles.
Yeah, luckily we have two vehicles. Hop in. I'm burning on to drive this damn thing.
He snorts and says, "Sure, sure." Hops in. And then adjusts, and then plays with the mask. As I was like, why did I get the damn monkey mask?
Why the fuck did you get me a gremlin?
I grabbed what's on the shelf.
Why do you get the same mask for all of us?
Eh. He just leaves it. He lets the conversation fall flat after that.
Okay, so we got a relative way to get in. We scouted the place out a bit. At least we know a good way to get in. Where did that guard come out of?
The front doors.
And how many entrances did we find there was?
Well, in the world of the arch-conservative nightmare, mandatory fire exits have been abandoned as inconvenient and expensive, and it's a sweatshop, so no windows. Only the one door.
Instead, we're gonna have to walk in there like we own it. Just let me do the
Okay.
talking.
Whatever you say, boss.
He smirks widely at that response.
With as much sarcasm as you can plaster on a horse.
He makes no note of the sarcasm. Just the fact that you called him boss.
Alright, so I'm going to steer back over to Civ, who is in an awkward position. You could roll driving to try to lose these guys, but then you would be depriving yourself of the ability to distract them. And if you don't, the second officer is going to shoot at you, Civ. What would you like to do?
Can I stay just out of the range?
No, though the vehicle will provide you cover.
I guess I'll continue providing a distraction.
All right. Now I will go ahead and roll the officer's attempt to fire at you. Right. That is a 14. You get a plus 10 from the cover provided the fact that they're effectively firing at you through the back of your car at speed, driving down the road, etc. You may roll dodge.
Okay. Plus.
Yeah, there was no way.
All right. It would seem that the duo are not the only ones with massive non-binary, possibly genitalia, as Victor leads the police officers on a high-speed pursuit with guns blazing far away from the facility.
You can try better than that.
All right.
I imagine he's just playing with the horn as he's driving.
Is it an ice cream truck?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
But
yet.
you have upgrades to do?
He
See
does.
about getting one in the future. If there is. No, there isn't.
He's gonna be our car thief.
We're going to van into one.
All
There you
right.
go.
So, for you folks who have entered the facility or are preparing to, I'm going ahead and revealing functionally the entryway. What you see when you peek your head through the door or walk in bold as brass.
Yeah, Rick is just gonna walk in, straight on through, with a purpose.
Alright, well, first and foremost, I'm going to have you guys make stealth checks. And the way it works in Liberal Crime Squad is your stealth is capped at the worst member of the parties in a given instance.
Which probably.
That's you.
Yep, that's me. So 1.
Alright,
Oh.
Good.
Plus 1.
and precisely, Grim, precisely.
I don't see what all these people are saying. That maybe I should.
Grim is singing La Cucaracha to describe the police chase.
Is this playing Mexican music the entire time?
You know,
This slot on the cassette?
Right, I await the stealth roll.
do you want to roll it or should I?
Whichever of
Let
you
me
has the
roll with you.
worst.
I do have the worst, so I will roll it then.
Right.
Oh, it's only one roll for the whole party. Okay.
Yeah, it uses the lowest stealth score,
Hey,
and then
I broke the double digits.
and then you're additionally penalized for improper disguises and so forth.
Yes.
But you guys make your way into the facility, into this sweatshop in the middle of downtown, and are greeted by the oppressive waves of heat rolling off of all of the heavy machinery in here. There's the steady hum of stitching and, oh god, I'm forgetting the name of the word. At any rate, things are being stitched in here. By big industrial machines operated by beleaguered workers in suboptimal conditions. The primary thing being manufactured in this sweatshop, if the wall decorations are anything to go by, are American flags. Bright, brilliant things with all 50 stars, and the red of the stripes might be tinted with the blood of those who've been worked to death, but that's not important to the arch-conservative nightmare. You can also see 2 officers of the law standing there, hands on their hips, chins up, towering over the peons who work beneath them.
Rick is gonna try to just walk right past them.
Right. Well,
Josh will follow, like,
with the stealth roll made, the first officer to see you raises a hand and says, "Hey, what are you doing in here?"
This is officer. I'm just coming in to take a look around.
He scowls. Nobody wants to look inside a sweatshop, and besides, this is corporate property. Where's your ID?
Exactly. I know I don't want to be here at all, but my bosses tell me I have to take a look around, make sure everyone's doing their job. I tell them, why do I have to care about all these damn people? He points towards the scum of the earth and says, but needs be must, and I have to look around, make sure they're doing their jobs.
Right?
No offense to you, my good sir.
Roll me persuasion with a +5 bonus.
Sweet. That's insane for me. Oh.
All right. The officer considers for a moment, looks around. You know, we offed the last health inspector to come through here. You're going to give us a good grade, right?
Of course. What do I care about the scums of the earth?
He smiles. Bureaucracy. Look around. And he steps aside, arms open wide.
This is... Well, thanks, good gentlemen. I'll get it out of your hair as fast as I can.
Right. And I'll go and reveal the rest of the facility as you're free to wander around as you will. Right. As you walk past, the officer gets on his radio and says, hey, we've got 2 health inspectors here from up top. Just ignore them. I talked with them already.
Yeah. He'll walk around and looking for something particularly juicy.
Yeah, fair enough. At each of these stations where we see little stick figures are where the workers are most congested, stuck around the machines or hand sewing these flags, fixing tears in them and that sort of thing. That's all rough and miserable and very 1850s Industrial Revolution. Where it gets really bad is when flags start brushing the ground, at which point officers shout and howl and, in more than one instance, cudgel the workers for daring to let the sacred symbol of America so much as brush the cement.
He'll jab the Josh and says, fix now.
Turns off the flash and the sound on my phone and takes a couple pictures.
Alright, go ahead and roll me street sense.
all the while, music playing, blaring. Cover up the gunshots that he doesn't want to hear. Can't hear it. Doesn't exist.
Right. Well, as photos are being taken, Sylv, we return to the would you like to lose the police or attempt to, or do you want to keep being shot at?
Keep being shot at.
All right.
Same roll.
Yeah.
Yes, you roll dodge.
Ooh.
All right. Well, let me consult what happens in a tie, unless Grim happens to beat me to it in the chat. Otherwise, from what I'm reading, to win, you must roll higher than your opponent. Suggest that ties go to the defender. That's right. There is text for forced rerolls. You're absolutely right.
Reroll.
Yeah, you just reroll the die.
Which is ever in your favor.
All right. So again, shots are fired out the side of the window. The officer's arm rolled down the window, arm and head hanging, firing shots down the street. They hit the car, but beyond that, you're safe.
Woo! Continue flipping them off.
Fuck you!
All right. Back over by Joshua and his elite liberal comrade. Photographs are taken. One of the officers turns well, they're actually doing their job, but he doesn't say anything about it.
No, he's like, yeah, Rick doesn't say anything if it's not brought to his attention, because But yeah, he takes a walk around. As long as he'll make sure Josh sticks with him, though.
Yeah,
He doesn't trust his ability to talk his way through.
Hmm.
Hey, he can talk just fine. Mind you.
But yeah, we make a quick walk around. Snap a quick photos.
So, pointedly, over here in the stashed corner of the room where you see the two naked men there, these men are covered in the cloth that they are stitching and sewing and so forth, fighting to keep it off the ground, slinging it over their shoulder. This is a massive flag, and they work in the confines of a cage.
Seeing that no one's around, he flips his phone out and takes a picture real quick.
All right.
Josh is lost behind. This is like the walkway to jump to.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, as soon as he gets he sees the worst of it, he's gonna. It says you'll go right here, out through, back here. Oops.
As you folk are approaching that section of the room, the officer back there moves to the two men working in the southernmost section of the room, leans his head in there and says, "Hey, scum," and tosses in his nightstick. Whichever one of you beats the other to death, I'll let stop working for 30 seconds. The two of them look down at the nightstick and then back up at him, and over his shoulder at Joshua.
Chuog's, like, what the hell do you think I can do? Trash.
All right. The officer smiles. Get on with it. And one of them hesitantly lifts the nightstick and charges his companion. The officer cackles madly while the two wrestle with the weapon, grappling, taking each other to the ground, beating one another.
Is the officer so focused on it that a picture could be taken of the scene?
It would be risky.
Okay.
Rick is walking off,
All right.
not really noticing.
Thinks against it and walks off.
Checking the scene out over here in top left.
Right. 1 second. Right. So, over in the top left, stashed away in a fairly roomy corner, but a corner nonetheless, are more naked sweatshop workers. And these ones are, in the midst of their working and sewing and operating the machinery, whispering to one another. When you get close, you can hear them saying, "Hey, did you hear? There are people out there. The world's not doomed. Maybe there's hope."
Rick, hearing this, will usher forward and says, taking a look around, does he see any cameras?
Roll me street sense.
Okay. I do believe I have one? No, I have 0, don't I? No, I have 2. Okay. No. No.
Yeah. In the world of big data, surveillance is almost a certainty, but there's no obvious cameras mounted on the walls. It isn't 1980 anymore.
Yeah. He goes forward and gets closer, trying to hear exactly what they say.
Right? You can listen to them discussing the recent events of the Liberal Crime Squad, or individuals who claim to be part of it, bombing of facilities, burning of flags, setting free mutant creatures, and more suspect whispers interspersed in there about individuals, names of people, possible heroes of the liberal crime squad, and their founder.
Is it the Terminator founder?
That is not the term they refer to him by, but that is a term for the founder, yes.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
I moved that over here somewhere.
Founder.
I thought I did.
Dodging
There it
tank
is.
shots and yes.
Yeah.
Terminator.
Number 2.
The return.
Just a wee bit more macho.
So, all right, and then he'll take pictures of them or take a recording of it.
Yeah, like pull out your phone and be like, I'm going to record 30 seconds of video.
Yeah, and then you'll, especially the key parts where they say about the heroes of the founders, but not names. He'd make sure he doesn't catch any names or anything. He just wants their deeds recorded.
Gotcha.
Them actually doing good.
Mhm.
But yeah, then he steps through, taking a look over here. You know, make sure he passes the corner. The cop doesn't see him.
All right. And the story is similar among these people. They aren't discussing the liberal crime squad, but they are working in squalid conditions and flinching at the sounds of flesh on metal as over to the south, one of their companions is being beaten to death.
He takes a snapshot of them. And then especially when they flinch. And then he says, and then he starts to walk out.
All
He
right.
says, thanks for your time, officer.
I'm
Doing
going
a
to-
great job.
I'm going to have you roll street sense one more time.
All right. That's a sad rolls.
The officer says, hold on 1 second, and holds out his hand.
And he says, yes. A peace offering. Josh, hand over the man some money. He's doing his job well.
The officer shakes his head. Your phone.
Oh, my phone. Sure. He tosses him a phone.
Right?
iPhone.
A phone. Yes, a phone.
And
Everyone
then,
has 2 phones these days.
and then he turns to Josh. Yours as well.
No one expects anybody to keep a flip phone, okay? That's why he keeps it. They expect a fancy touchscreen.
Tosses him a flip phone. I'll throw it away.
Rick just says, and he says, that's company property, Josh.
Your point?
I do too.
You know, I could always use a promotion. Sure, hand him the company property.
Hey, I don't expect him to take it. He's just gonna look through it, right?
He nods, starts flipping through the phones. So as he's doing this, he says, and about that bribe.
And he says,
Walks over to him, puts $75 in his hand.
Alright, go and roll me persuasion with a +5.
him or me?
So at
Or
a
he probably
minus. Wait. Fuck was that? Yeah, at a +4.
Alright. Right. He takes the bills, counts them, hands the phones back, tips his sunglasses down, and says, have a good day, health inspectors.
He says, you
Well,
too,
so that
officer."
bribe worked.
See, I know, right? It works every time.
Meanwhile, over by you, Siv.
The result of a bribe not working.
This is how they do it wrong!
Would you like to try to flee the officers, or keep running them around in circles?
Keep running them around until I get a call that they're done.
Yeah, Rick will, as he's walking out, send a message to Vic to saying, "You're good to believe." Ooh.
That was the to hit roll.
What was that?
It was a 24 with them firing with their pistols.
Let's see.
Their pistol, rather.
So would I get that message that they're done?
We'll handle that based on whether or not and how badly you get shot.
Yeah. A 2.
Pretty damn.
Let me go jump to the 44 Magnum.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
First martyr.
Right.
No.
So the damage is 4d6 and the AP is 4. What is your armor?
Well, let's see. I don't think because it's just the base blows of the characters. My industrial is no AP. It doesn't look like no AP. Well,
Alright, no armor. Alright, so just 4d6 straight damage. What is your heart, Civ?
don't you have to roll to hit first?
Health.
That was the 24.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the location?
Ah, yes. I didn't use the fancy macro. Ah. Left leg.
Leg. I don't need that to drive.
No, you don't. But
Straight-
you only have 12 health, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is a critical, isn't it? Since it's more
Yes.
than my health.
If you take
It's
more
one
damage
critical.
than your health, you take 1 critical. Civ,
That's the leg.
roll me a D.
Isn't it?
I'm double checking what it is.
Isn't critical just the overflow of your?
Is it just the overflow? Oh, my bad.
That's the overflow.
Yeah.
Alright, so I believe that's 1. Yes?
So
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
Victor's
critical
leg
balance
becomes
becomes for leg,
shaky.
critical balance becomes shaky.
You don't need a left leg, though.
He takes a minus
action.
5 penalty.
All
for-
action.
Yep.
Oof. So now the getaway.
Sorry, QT, we can't restart just for you. But if someone in the chat wants to get you caught up, they're more than welcome to.
So now the getaway roll.
So, the officers are firing, you're driving and weaving, the phone call comes, you guys are free to play that out for a bit, but one of the shots goes straight through the door and into your left leg. So, you know, if you want to mix that into the conversation with the other two, go for it.
Rick will just, as he's outside, and just say, "We're good. We got the pics."
Was that a text or a call?
Either or. I'd rather
Oh,
hear the
man.
call because I want to hear the screams.
Yeah.
Fucking sadist.
He wants
You
to
know.
hear the liberal screams.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Victor will pick up the phone basically right as he gets shot in the leg. Damn it! What? Are you guys done yet?
We're done. Need any help? And you hear the smug voice. He's just overfilling smugness.
We threw him to the fucking wolves.
No, I'm just getting shot up over here. I'm
Good.
sure it'll be fine.
Wait, no, oh.
Just got a
See
bullet in
you-
my leg now.
There we
See you
go.
at the
That's what I
meeting.
wanted to hear.
See you at the meet.
Well,
Did
hang
you
up.
even-
No,
Is that a
Rick,
meeting
Rick will
place?
say, it says, all right, where are you at?
I will just give a location of wherever I am.
Yeah, hey, I just passed the McDonald's on 3rd Street.
Okay. And, you'll look over to Josh and says, how good are you at driving?
I know how to drive.
How good are you smashing into a police car?
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
I mean, that's going to take a while for you guys to catch up.
We'll make sure you lead them towards us.
Or I could just lose them.
You're welcome to
Look, do you
try.
want help or not?
You fucking idiot. This is
Oh.
terrible. Why
Alright.
did I sign up for this?
So, Civ, we're at the start of the second round of combat. The Liberal Crime Squad always goes first.
I'm going to attempt to lose them.
Alright, go ahead and roll driving.
With the -5?
Yes.
Ooh.
They keep on your tail.
Yeah.
Right? And then for our folks in the other group, go ahead and roll your driving.
Which is your car, so you're driving.
Okay, so here's my idea. I'm gonna take out that knife and try to scrape it across the police cruiser as we go by.
Well, that's probably for me
Gotta
to
get
do
that
and you
first.
to drive.
Oh yeah, that's. No, I'm assuming that we'd be going opposite directions, not. I'm guessing going towards them or away from them.
Towards them. Most definitely towards them.
So then it would be on my side. I'd have to do that. Because I'm assuming that they would be on the left side of the road and we'd be on the right.
However you guys want to work it, you may you may end up ignoring arch-conservative traffic laws.
Well, the
Forget
longer
about traffic laws.
yeah, the longer the Civ's out there, the more likely a death squad's gonna be sent after him.
Yes, that's what I'm
It's
asking.
first session. I'm sure that won't happen.
Ha ha ha.
You've only lost a leg. I'm assuming.
Rick is fully willing to sacrifice you for the liberal cause.
As is Josh, we just met each other. Why do we care?
He's fully willing. Oh
Right.
yeah,
He just wanted to jam a knife into it, but if you're up for that,
Gareth does point out a.
Yeah, I'm discussing it with him.
Okay.
So, what did you two want to do, having hopped in your vehicle? Just race toward Civ and try to bulldoze the police cruiser?
I am in the opinion we should just bulldoze them, and then we can always just jump
In a
into
bug.
Civ's car.
Gonna try to bulldoze them in a bug.
You know, a car hitting another car.
well, it might hit 60.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead and roll driving.
Fuck me.
It's up to Josh if he wants to do that, though.
Mm.
If he wants to take the knife plan, because it is his car.
Okay, so
Your executive decision. You're the man of the
how
hour.
good are you at throwing knives?
Not very.
Okay, we're smashing into it. Yes! Fuck
If you
me!
catch up.
Alright, so, Victor. Down the street, you see the other bug swerving through traffic, racing to catch up with the police cruiser. But it's not there yet. Would you like to attempt to flee again, or continue to kite, or some other course of action?
I'm gonna keep trying to flee.
Alright, go and roll driving.
I mean, if you get away, then we'll just,
Yeah,
Get
you're
away.
gone. You take a corner sharper than the HVACS can. It hits a pole, slides to the side. You're gone. Alright.
Rick will just look to Josh. It's like, well, I guess he was right. He doesn't need help.
He said he didn't need
Take
help.
us to the meeting.
Why didn't you tell? Whatever. He takes it to the meeting place. Starts obeying traffic laws.
Alright, roll me street sense.
Good, it's not me this time.
Yes, a +2.
Better than me.
Yes, a +2.
+1.
Unfortunately, you are leaving a rather hot zone, and Civ is not the only one who noticed the bug. as you guys near the meeting place, it's clear an APC has been put out. There are more police cars roving around. There are officers, walking up and down the street, and there are even 1 or 2 death squad officers seen patrolling. One of these squad cars flips on the lights, heralding you to stop. What do you want to do?
We have
Rick will,
nothing to
okay,
hide.
Rick will just it's like, okay, hey, how much money do you got, dude?
After that 5, let me about $400.
All right, slip me
You gotta
200.
spend some too. Okay.
Slip me 200. I can talk this through. Switch
Some
seats. Switch
205.
Switch seats. As he tries to.
Do you even have a license?
The fuck I do? Yes, I do have a license. Damn it.
Okay. Let's just switch the seats.
It's a
As the
2020,
fucking
man.
police officers coming toward us.
While these two have a Chinese fire drill.
This is fucking stupid.
I'm going to try to find a place to poke the bug.
Alright. The police car comes to a stop. The officer steps out. There is one normal officer, but accompanying him is
That's fun.
a death squad officer.
Fuck me.
The death,
This is why I took the driver's seat.
the death squad officer carries his assault rifle openly with a plethora of rounds attached to his chest. He's the one who stands back while the officer taps on the window and says, "What are you two doing around here?"
It says, it rolls down the window and just says, "I'm trying to get home. Did my job. Told the boss it's good.
Do you
And
know?
I hear a bunch of sirens."
Do you know why I stopped you?
And says, "Been driving a bit fast."
A bit fast. License and registration, please.
Yeah, he hands him his license.
Josh is gonna fish for the registration and pass it to him.
All right. The officer gets a little cagey when you fish around, but the death squad officer's there. You're just people in a car. It's fine, right?
Yeah, and Rick will just play it. It's like heavy duty backup there, man. Expecting trouble today? Just
He
making
nods.
regular conversation. It says, "Sheesh, who's the dumbass that did this time?"
No one important. The law will have its way. He shuffles through the paperwork. Says, "This car doesn't belong to you." Turns to the passenger. Your license and
Yes, friend here.
takes it. Long trip out of town, switching drivers. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's his turn to drive today.
Yeah, lazy bum.
Well, you should know. And he leans in, elbows resting on the window. We got a call about 2 fellows moving around and a car speeding out of here. A bug just like this one.
Yeah, like I said, health inspectors. You could talk to the officers. Told them I was just inspecting the place. Great
They
place.
didn't ask about the. They did not ask the. Oh.
Well, he already knows that we were already from there.
Go ahead and roll
Well, it came from the
persuasion
area.
with a -5.
Okay.
God damn it!
As I still have an 18.
All right. He stands up, taps on the hood of the car. Law-abiding citizens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm sure you won't mind compensating myself and this fine officer, he gestures to the death squad officer, for our time.
Oh, shoot. All right, yeah. I'm not going to argue with no death squad.
He holds his hand
That
out.
means business. And then he searches around his pockets and then finds, and he pulls out $200. Find that man for yourself. I believe there are extra. He hands $200.
Right. He takes it, riffles through it quick, splits the stack in half, and hands it to the death squad officer, who takes it, but he's eyeing you guys up hard. Roll me disguise. Now,
Okay.
obviously you aren't currently disguised, but you were disguised before.
As I roll a 22.
Oh, I had a +0 to that. Sorry, that's a 6.
They're turning to leave when the death squad officer reaches to his walkie-talkie and starts talking into it. What do you guys want to do?
Drive away. No.
Rick is not gonna fuck with the death squad.
Neither is Josh. He's seen stealings with them, man.
Rick
That's
is
not a good idea.
self-confident enough. Rick is self-confident enough that he's done everything right.
And the knife that he has on him is not illegal, so there's no reason to be afraid.
Or I mean, miniguns are illegal in an arch.
Well, knife. I have a simple,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, combat knife.
Right, so just trying to play it
It's
cool.
a knife. It's short.
Yeah, most
That's all
definitely.
that.
At least
Right.
Rick is.
Doing the same.
All right. He lowers the walkie-talkie, spins on his heel, about face, and pops around into the tire of the bug. Shrugs, clearly chuckling to himself. And the two officers climb back into the car. Right?
They drive away.
Yes, the HVACS drives away.
Rick sighs and says, "God damn fucking cops." You got a spare terror?
I think so.
More than likely,
jump
one
around.
spare's reasonable.
Yeah. Pops the trunk and says, "Oh, let's get this shit done." All the
Jacks it
while
up, puts the tire
grumbling
on.
about the cops.
All right.
Shooting my tire again like this, motherfucker.
So, Civ, were you headed back to the meeting space right away?
Well, I was finding a place to park the car.
That's right, you were parking the car first.
Just find a nice hiding place and then maybe nearby, but making sure to avoid. Stay out of sight. Then yeah, walk.
As he has a bullet in one of his legs.
Yeah, it grazed him, but it hurt. Right, so, Civ, you are the first back, or Victor is the first back to the meeting place, where his contact sits in a dimly lit room, only a single bulb swaying back and forth over the chair. He says, "Sit."
Rick, before he
Gladly.
gets to the meet, he'll sort through the photos that he and Josh, and he'll send them between them, so that way they
Right.
can put it into one big package message.
Works for me.
And he lets Josh drive, of course, because it's not his car.
And
That's the Chinese fire drill again.
your
Well, this time we had to jack up the car and then put the wheel,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to do that this time.
So, your contact, one Linda B. Squaller, Victor, says, "How did it go?"
I am still waiting on the other two. They were the ones taking the pictures.
She snaps gum, blowing a bubble, and then it pops, and says, "Oh, really now?"
Yes.
"Are you sure you're cut out for the liberal crime squad?" She drags a hand along the back of Victor's shoulders. "You identify as cisgender, don't you?"
I like to imagine this is where Rick walks in.
Rick and Josh at the same time.
How do you
Or
respond, Victor?
I don't know. Yes.
The gum snaps again. A long moment of silence. We'll wait for your friends. And then the light is clicked off above his head.
I'll wait in the darkness then.
Alright. Our other two friends arrive once they're done jacking up the car, switching the tire, driving over. You know, the whole 9 yards there. When you guys arrive, the light clicks back on.
Rick enters in, muttering about cops, goddamn fucking death squads.
How's it going?
Linda says, "Poorer for you than for us, apparently. You had a
But
run-in
it's
with a death squad officer?"
Rick will just look at her and just says, "Nothing much."
"I hope you didn't bring heat down on this meeting place."
He shakes his head, no. Unless he looks at Victor. You didn't bring the car here, did you?
Nope, I walked.
Good. We should be fine then.
"And the photographs?"
He'll actually just toss his flip phone to her,
Alright.
as he looks for a seat.
Unfortunately, there's only the one.
Is there a table?
No.
Yeah,
Damn.
sit on the fucking table.
Yeah, I was going to sit on the damn
Sit on
table.
the floor.
So, she
John
like
is
a
in
s-
the stand near the.
Rick will just lean
yeah.
against the wall, take out a cigarette, and start smoking.
Right. She flips through the phone with a scowl at the acrid smell of burning tobacco. And she says, "Well, you certainly got the photographs. You didn't free them, did you?"
Don't forget the video.
She plays it quick. "Did you free the workers?"
He says, as much as I would love to, you're going to need a lot more money and a lot more supplies to do that. Unless you want them all dead.
"So you are intelligent." Her grin grows. "We'll be sending the three of you to meet with someone higher up, who will then assign you a city to work in, a grassroots movement of the LCS. You'll have our support and attention, but it will be an independent movement in most other regards. We'll only provide oversight where you request it or where it's clearly needed. Otherwise, the city will be yours to fight for. Welcome to the Liberal Crime Squad." Thank you guys for playing through the session.
Huh. That was fun.
Good.
And
good.
no one died.
No one died. We had a close call with
Except
Sid.
someone got shot.
It wasn't a close call. I was fine.
So how's your leg doing?
It's sore. I mean, it's
I
not. It was
imagine
just
the
a
bullet
bolt
is-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only any shot deals critical damage and will probably kill him. He's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
fine.
Walk here on a bum leg. Oh.
I definitely like my plan of just brazenly walking through.
Hey, my plan was to knock people out, so I'm glad you had something of actual value.
I was
That's
not
right,
gonna try
Grim.
my hand.
Also,
No,
you
as
probably
long
got to
as-
get rid of that beetle.
Most definitely. You could probably just
Yeah.
sell it off. We need more
That
money
shit's
for
hot.
bribes.
That's a paper trail.
All right. Did you guys, as the players, have any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, I think Civ got the most juice probably though.
Yeah, we'll talk about juice after the session, but yes.
But yeah, no, not really. I am looking specifically forward to when I get to operate as my own entity because that's what my character does.
Right. I wanted to capture the notion of the LCS as portrayed in the game, but I had to find a way to justify it for people. Like, in a world where I've set up the LCS exists, you aren't the founders. How do I let you do your own thing? I thought this was a reasonable solution.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That works
no.
by me.
Yeah, because especially if it's Terminator founder, he's
Terminator
off
founder.
doing his thing on his own. He's good enough on his own. He doesn't need help.
All right. Did chat have any questions, comments, concerns?
Yes, only 100 burn flags needed.
Hey, hold up, Grimmeth.
I will.
Well, wasn't at the sweatshop today, officer. Honest.
The same
I
way
think I
our
did
Shadowrun
fine.
group succeeds.
The only answer I have for you, Grim, is one step at a time. But in these dark times,
Quite literally one step for me.
Grim beat me to the quote. Damn it.
Yeah, you did.
All right. Well, I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm glad to have taken part in this, and I hope we get to do it again. You guys let me
Hopefully,
know what
maybe.
your schedule looks like going forward. I've got to juggle Shadowrun and this, but I plan on streaming again within the next week or so, schedule allowing.
That's most definitely works for me.
All right. Well then, if there's nothing else, chat, players, I will catch you all next time on Liberal Crime Squad.
Bye-bye. Now,